Hello everyone. We are going to start Group 4A right now. With me is Prolace,
Hey guys.
and in the chat, hey Serge, how are you doing, man? Um, Everybody who's watching, we will be finishing only the AA part today because the 4BB, which is AZ2 versus Int, has not been played yet. We're going to wait for that. Let's quickly look into the poll. We got Young One and Mash versus Mouse and TNT. While Young One and Mash showed great promise in their first game, I feel Mouse and TNT just are hardcore standard players, and I don't, I'm not surprised with these weird results. 23-77%. I like that people still have faith in AC1 and they think then they can take on PLA1. I'm actually excited how AC1 would do against a professional team like PLA1.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because, like, clearly they are not like the best standard players. I mean, they are good players in their own right, but Mouse and TNT, they are just, you might say they're just another level in terms of skill in standard. So AZ will have to either, focus on their team game or, yeah, they'll have to look for some advantage that they can get somehow.
Oh yeah. On the other side, the game that won't be casted today but still worth checking out, AZ2 Drawn and Demon King versus N2. N2 has lost one game, so if they lose this one, they are out of the tournament. AZ2, same for AZ2, they've lost one game, they lose it, they are out of the tournament. So this is
Yep.
AZ2's and Int2's time for redemption, getting back in the tournament. Also, 4AA is direct entry to Super 16. Whoever wins this round is getting in Super 16. So today we'll have the first look into our first team getting into Super 16 officially.
Yeah,
So
the
far,
first qualified team we have
that's
here.
right. In no other round we have had a qualified team yet. So I am excited for this. Um, let's check out the players. Same, yep, TNT, Young Mash versus Kron, Demon King, and Predator. I think we are ready if there are no questions.
Yeah, I'm ready as well. If you can share your screen also.
All right, just give me a second.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go, guys. The first game for PLA1 versus AZ1. Release.
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Live.
And Ameya is observing this game as well, man. We have to ban Ameya.
Yo, Amaya is some sneaky spy.
Yeah, I
He's doing some stuff.
I think
I don't know, man.
Amaya is just reading everybody's move. Maybe he thinks that one of these teams is a potential threat to him in the Super 16, and he's planning his moves
I
ahead of
I
time.
think he's just trying to get more experience just by observing because he has been away for a while.
That's
So
right.
he feels like he needs to compensate.
Yeah, that is possible. Um, on this side, we got Egyptians and Berlin for the AZ team versus Mayans and Dutch. So how do you like these matchups? We got Young One paired up with Mouse. I could say Young One is probably the better player in AZ team, and Mouse is slightly better than TNT, but I wouldn't be sure. Maybe TNT and Mouse both are around the same level. And
Yeah. Like for PLA, there is no dark horse or there is
Mhm.
no star player. For PLA, they are
there is no
both.
old cat here.
Yeah, there's no old cat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, for AZ, young one. I mean, he's supposed to do the heavy lifting, while Mash is more of the guy. If he survives, he's already done his job almost, I feel like. But anyway, about the nations, I would go for PLA for sure. Well, Maya is not much. However, I like Maya. They can be decent, they can be fast. But TNT having Dutch and Sugar there
Mhm.
on his first city, that's a crazy combo, man. He's using Sugar already, and he's
Oh
going for
yeah,
Bison there in the corner. It's a
man.
perfect
Yeah,
start for him, man. He
perfect
doesn't
start.
even he needs only one farm to get to that plus 100 food. Yeah,
You are
he's
right.
gonna build
He's
one
gonna
farm
have
and
a crazy fast start.
and
I would like to see him click up before 3 minutes, or even at 3 minute point. That would be
it's
amazing.
very possible that he doesn't need to make villagers for his farms, and he has cotton in the back. Imagine if he
Oh
can
my
use that as
God.
well,
This is
then
insane, man. This is insanely good start. What the hell? This is a hack.
I don't want to be like the guy that kills the vibe, but I almost feel like this is GG just because of TNT's nation and setup, and because he's such a great player.
Yeah, and Mash needs to. I don't know how Mash will survive this, but if Mash can survive the initial sets of raids, then he may have a chance. Else, man, good luck playing against that. Although I don't agree with you siding with PLA team for the nations. I actually think the AZ nations are much better. Egyptians with silk and diamonds plus Germans. I kind of lean towards AZ than PLA.
Mm-hmm.
It's the player
Fair
skills
enough.
is a different thing though.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God, dude!
see.
Look at TNT. He has clicked up at 240 second prime point. That is
That's
one of the. I think TNT has just made, and he clicked up with military. Man, I have to write this in the fact. This is going to be a Rise of Nations King of
Oh
Sahara
yeah,
fact.
this is maybe the fastest age in the tournament.
Fastest
Uh,
aging in a tournament. I don't even remember when there was last time I saw anybody age like that. I don't care if it's circumstances. Well, he made it happen because a
yeah,
lot of times you have circumstances and you still mess up, man. people
you
people
have to
don't do
use
it.
them.
Yep.
What do you think about young one going Civ 3 there? You know, obviously he's gonna secure that middle forest there. And first he's gonna be a bit closer to him, but
Actually, against Maya may not be that big of a problem because Mayans are not known to be the most aggressive type.
hmm
I'm liking what's happening here. TNT. So TNT is definitely not raiding. He has got a stable but no mill too. He is, however, going for a second city, and if you see where
yep.
Mash's woodcutter line is, which is in a very weird spot. I don't blame him because it looks like that was the only possible way for him to get a city.
Oh, I thought that TNT might build this city
Yeah,
there
that's
and
what I
deny
thought.
it,
That's what
but
I thought.
that's
I
not.
thought he might want to do that, but I guess TNT just wants to stay away from trouble or not be too close.
Yeah,
He may have a long-term moving plan.
one horse archer by him though could wreck that woodcutter's camp.
Oh yeah. But and I would have loved to see some raids early in the game because when you age so fast, that's the kind of damage you can deal. You have the power of early raids and completely paralyze your opponent. And a lot of players don't realize this, but if you manage to handicap the opponent's wood, he is going to be completely immobilized because without the wood, you can't make barracks, you can't make universities, you can't make archers or light cavalry. So wood is pretty important for defense.
Yeah, and a small detail is that woodcutters camps are actually one of the easiest things to lock down and deny for a long periods of time if they are outside of the city radius. Because yeah, just one unit could deny 5 villagers to get wood.
Oh yeah, you are right. On this side, things seem all right. Young one is getting science too. He's got a crazy knowledge income, 50 already, and he has no scholars mate yet.
That's that relics and poppy. That's plus 30 and tobacco. That's plus 40 already, and that last plus 10 is from a university.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's really great for him.
That
So yeah,
is.
it does seem like yeah, TNT is pretty damn fast, but Mouse as well. If you look at their ecos, they're closing in on the plus 150. I feel like it will get there.
Oh yeah, it will get there. Mouse is doing fine here. He's getting a stable, and for TNT will be hitting a 200 eco in no time.
Mm-hmm. Also, I feel like if you look at the minimap and if you reveal it, then the position of the players is a bit interesting. If you just reveal all, it's kind of a mirror of each other, you know. TNT and Young One have 3 cities, Mouse and Mash have 2, and yeah, it's very symmetrical if you look at it. I wonder how this positioning is gonna work out
And
in
Mouse,
terms of rotations.
what do you think about Mouse's city building? Mouse obviously is building there to push and deny that center wood to Young One, but I feel this city could leave his caravan route exposed.
I agree with you, and also I don't think that the city will really affect that woodcutter's camp that much. Well, if he builds this a temple and he already has gems in the corner, that will have a nice border push. Let's see. Okay, it did affect from +10 it went to +3, so that was nice.
That was nice.
But maybe that first would have been even nicer.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see how this plays out.
Let's see if Young One has more options. If you look near relics, and in fact, I would have loved for Young One to start right from that part, because if he could put a tower near relics, that would secure both the woodcutter camp and relics. So, and it would be far away for raids as well.
Oh yeah, that would be a nice position for tower.
Oh yeah.
Not that many raids so far, man.
No man. In fact, only one raid that I saw on Obsidian bottom corner with a light horse. These guys are taking their time. Mouse, as expected, Mouse is boomer, and so is TNT. Both of these guys are taking their time to get up to their 200 eco. Young One just aged, the first one to age, but he does not have the kind of eco I was expecting for Germans.
Nope. He does not. In fact, the Mayan player has a better eco, and TNT's eco, look at that, man. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. Already, yeah. So early, 8 minutes in, man, +170 for the food wood. Mash on his capital city there of Thieves, yeah, he's building that tower, but I wonder, he hasn't been using diamonds all this time?
Who are you talking about?
Mash on Thebes. He's building a tower on diamonds, but he hasn't used it all this time. Or
I think it was raided. It was just raided because, and you see, this is the kind of funny raid that I was talking about. TNT using 2 light cavalry, and this is an extremely effective way to raid.
You know what? I see why it's effective, because your units, they can't die, but they can kill merchants.
Yeah, they kill
you just have to run away.
They kill slowly, but you're going to do a lot of damage to opponent.
I know, actually, having 2 of them means that it's actually gonna be decently fast. Instead of 1. I like that the PLA team starts to raid now. You see there in the back, Salt is getting raided, and if you would have watched at Mash's rares like a minute ago, he had like 5 or 6, and now he has only 2. So this is very important that they denied all these rares for Mash.
Yep, I mean, a brilliant job by PLA so far. Mash has got a very bad eco, and I kind of understand why is that, because of the wood camp that he just lost recently, and on top of that, TNT has been raiding him relentlessly.
Yeah. I think he should have went Civ 2, and yeah, going Com 2. It's a classical mistake now for Mash. You don't need that Commerce 2, dude. It's not gonna give you any advantage at all.
Oh yeah. So I personally prefer Commerce 2 to Senator. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because I can buy things with Commerce 2, and that is extremely useful.
Yeah.
Initially, I want to get some wealth.
You know what? You have a nice point there. However, his wealth income is so low anyway. You know, he can't sell that metal, for example. But his eco is so weak that he doesn't really have that much resources to just sell and buy. You know, but your point stands for sure.
Oh yeah, it looks like TNT is no more playing games now. He wants to finish. I see that Siege Factory.
No, also those light horses they found the second woodcutter
Oh
camp
man,
by
come on,
Nash.
come
That's
on.
so sad.
And
He
actually,
just
light horses they suck against militia. So that's why you would never want to raid a militia using light horses, because you can almost always kill, like I think three militia can possibly kill two light horses,
yeah, quite
assuming
probable.
nobody's microwaving. Um, so in such a case, in such a case, light horses are completely ineffective. But I am assuming Mash does not have militia upgraded.
Yeah, he should have had militia, but man, those two light horses they still killed two villagers and even one light horse by young one. So TNT lost one light horse and killed two vills and one light horse by young one. So, you know, that's a nice exchange there.
Oh yeah.
The
And,
eco by TNT, man.
And do you see this Mash? I mean, Young One actually he's playing well. He is about to age to Gunpowder. He's got a slightly better eco than Mouse.
Hmm.
It's just that I think
Well,
Young One could be handling these raids better than uh, better. Not he's not handling these raids as well as he could be doing.
yeah,
For Germans, he's got an amazing eco. Almost he was almost around 180, but those raids set him back.
yeah. But if you look at Mouse, I really like his eco as well. Plus 190 food, plus 160 wood.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna, yeah, he isn't really behind. By the way, that middle city by Mouse, what is interesting is that if he can, turn the focus of the battle to his middle city there, then that will be very beneficial, because in that case TNT and Mouse are so close to each other that they can just easily rotate.
Oh yeah.
So I would love if Mouse would attack maybe first, and that would force Young One to, defend Trier and not attack that city of Uaxtun. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that will be nice for PLA to
Yeah,
shift the focus
I
in the
agree
middle.
with you. PLA have got the advantage of terrain. They are so close to each other, they can easily move between each other's
Hmm.
territory. But not, I can't say the same for the AZ team, because they are pretty separated.
They are miles away from each other, dude. And TNT is kind of TNT, and that third city by Mouse is kind of cutting him off partly from Young One.
Oh yeah, that is. But I still would love to see some heavy raids on those caravan routes, because it bugs me that the caravan routes are not being raided. Also, Young One has never checked out the furs. Like I realize that he doesn't want to use it, but at least check if
Yeah,
there's an enemy merchant there.
for sure.
So both Young One and Mouse are age up. Young One has got about 190 food eco. Decent. That is decent. He still has not used. He's not using the wood in the back, which is surprising.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, TNT just came, raided that woodcutter's camp. So that woodcutter camp is dead. I feel it's better, because that's going to be in the war zone very soon. If I was Young One, I would just abandon that and find someplace else.
Oh yeah, +3 only as well, so it's kind of useless at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Also, Mash is in a terrible position. His eco is +100, literally, even though his
Oh yeah.
commerce cap is at +200. He doesn't have any scholars. Like, his only knowledge income comes from tobacco and 2 universities. So you see why that is a problem. And I don't see him doing anything against TNT. TNT just can do whatever he wants. He can boom or he can attack. It doesn't really matter.
That's and you see, this is what happens when you are constantly being raided,
Yeah.
and when you do not know what your opponent is up to. Your Mash has this nice army. I would say that's a pretty decent army to do some damage, but Mash just doesn't have the confidence to look into TNT's territory. He's afraid because he cannot see. It's in according to him, it's just darkness in TNT's
Oof,
territory.
yeah, that's we can give some advice to the players. Like first of all, that should have been scouted for sure. Because then the weak points in TNT's country. Let's say where are the metal mines, what's exposed. But I wanted to look at TNT's territory and to find out which spots are really vulnerable for raids. But he is doing a pretty damn nice job at covering those. He has towers at his 2 metal mines. He has that castle there, in the midsection.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that many weak spots, to be honest, in
Yep.
his.
And do you see TNT's army? TNT's army could easily be defeated by Mesh. It's just that Mesh is not using it. And Mesh, if you're watching that, man, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah, like all those heavy cavalries, instead of standing there, you could have sent them to raid everywhere.
Yep.
Oof, yeah, that middle there, there's a fight.
Oh yeah, there is a fight, and I can't believe Mouse does not have a scout. Come on, Mouse.
Ooh. But the young one doesn't have a spy. Oh, he does. There we go. Yeah, Mouse is like, shit, how did I forget a scout? I have to go back.
Oh
Falling
yeah,
back.
he is going back, and honestly, he does not have a big enough army. He may have a slightly bigger army than Young One, but still not big enough to do real damage.
Something he does have going for him is he's getting the operations upgrade now, and young one doesn't even have the mill fort to unlock it yet. So yeah, using that operations extra armor, maybe he can make something happen.
Yes, you
He
are
should
right.
be able to.
Yeah, Mouse does have the operations, yeah, so it's giving him some advantage. And Young One's army is also decoy, but since Mouse does not have a scout, he can't see that. And that helps.
Oh yeah, it looks quite big from his point of view. But I think once that castle goes down, then Mouse will make quick work of it.
Yeah, I feel Young One played really well because he was double rated sometimes, and for somebody who's not a typical standard player, he held on for really well. I think he's done a commendable job. It's just that I wish Mash could have come to help, or
Yep.
because Mash has been a mute player throughout the game, and I can still see his army. Mash's army is easily able to kill TNT. TNT's got an unupgraded army. He's booming all he wants.
That's right. So yeah, we see that Mouse is gonna defeat Young One there in the middle. I think maybe Young One didn't have enough stables and barracks there. If he had maybe 2 of each there on that front city, maybe that would make things easier for him. But like, yeah, he got it. And the funny thing is, Mouse still doesn't have a scout, so that's a bit odd.
Oh, he did. He
Oh,
got a
now
scout.
yeah,
He
I
got a
see
scout.
one. Yeah.
Oh, yep. So now I think we are close to the end. Young One, who was the only hope for AZ, is no more in the game. It's a matter of time before Mouse finishes him. And on this side, TNT he's got an awesome boom, almost 300 knowledge, 250 everything. Yeah, he's going to kill.
By the way, if you talk about Mash, he actually, if you look at his eco, he came back a little, but it's too late now. I feel like he could have done that like 5 minutes ago or however long it was, you know? He has actually plus 200 food now, which is, great considering where he came from, but it came a little bit too late.
Yeah. So it's the next step for Mouse is go age up and kill. Although he still he has enough army to just go on Munich, finish it.
Yeah, if I was him, I would have because he knows that Young One's army is completely destroyed. He just destroyed it, so Young One doesn't have an army right now. So yeah, he should just keep pushing. In an ideal world, he wouldn't wait there.
So yep, here Mash is out. And I won't say I'm surprised, but I still feel that these guys played well. Mash could have done a little better against TNT. When you know your opponent is getting wonders like Hanging Garden. Hanging Garden is a big indicator that your opponent wants to boom with all his heart. He wants to go to 250 or 300 eco as soon as possible. So that should tell you that it's time to raid him. It's time to keep him anchored to the ground, not let him fly away with his super eco.
Yeah, and the problem was, Mash, he didn't he didn't pressure his opponent at all. That gave TNT the free opportunity to just do whatever he wanted,
So TNT was literally playing a tech race with a little army there to harass. He had. I don't even think TNT had. Let me see. TNT had any. Yep. He did have towers, so I won't say he was overconfident. He did protect his base, but at the same time, I don't think he was ever raided. So, Mash, if you're watching this, you need to raid your opponent in standard and obviously in Nomad as well if you want to cause real damage. You had the potential. The worst thing that could have happened with Mash if TNT started raiding the moment he aged, and that would be terrible. That would I would call GG right there. But TNT did not do that, and that was Mash's way for coming back and starting to do his own raids.
Yeah, but his army was just on stand ground in his own city.
Oh yeah.
Sadly.
So this is our highest resources as expected TNT, and highest kills for TNT as well, because TNT he never received much of resistance. Wherever he went, he could kill. So it's fine. Let's go into the second game, guys.
Yes.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Live.
And Amaya is resigned again. Okay.
That sneaky bastard.
I'm just used to it now. So on PLA's team, China and India, neighbors cozying up to each other. That's good. On this side, we see Turks and Iroquois. I would say if there's a better combo, then one of the best aggressive combos would be this Turks and Iroquois, because you can double it, one of the opponents very easily. I really like this game. In fact, I would love to see a young one going with siege and militia while Mash sends his heavy infantry.
Yeah, and you know, if they go aggressive anyway, it's important that it's not only young one that goes aggressively. Mash has to do that as well.
Yep, yep.
Otherwise, they're just gonna TNT will just help out Mouse, for example, and then the game is lost. So yeah, let's see what game plan they choose, because it's important that they have one. And I hope, you know, an aggressive game plan would be quite smart indeed.
Oh yeah. And not to say that Turks cannot finish. In fact, I think Turks can finish both of these nations early in the game. I feel Indians are
Yeah.
at their weakest in around H2. H2 is the best time to take out Indians, because mostly Indian players will try to boom as much as possible, and they'll not be careful about raids. After H2, when they get those upgraded elephants and their eco starts building up, then it's difficult to take them out.
Yeah, and also when you know you don't have such a good eco, still, you know, those elephants are too expensive to buy in the beginning, so that's why they are a bit vulnerable as well.
Oh yeah,
At the
yeah, you're
beginning,
right.
yeah.
You're right. The initially you cannot afford those elephants, but afterwards,
Yeah,
they become within your reach. So no mill one ancient raid from Mash. That is, I won't say that's bad. It's just unique. Let's see what is Mash planning. Although
yeah,
I see Mash is going for military one, while he does not have enough wood to go for barracks, or he does not even have the second lumber camp. So this is a big mistake, because if Mash went for if he added a lumber camp before going for mill one, he could use that food in a better way. And now he's just handicapped himself. That research is done, but he can't use it. What's the point?
you are right. You know, that military costs food, and he could have used that to build a lumber camp and get his wood up to plus 100. You know,
Oh
or
yes.
it doesn't have to be plus 100, but just more than you have right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. On this side, young one has got wine, obsidian, gems. I like gems, especially against China, because China have this border push initially, being the only nation with large cities.
You know what I like more is if I was China and I had gems.
Oh yeah, or Russia with gems.
Or Russia with gems, man. That shit makes me like happy inside when I think about it, being Russia with gems.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the best things that can happen to you.
And yeah, I see nice rares on Mouse's territory. He has not found out about Bison, but Relics is obviously good. Relics is, I feel Relics, Sugar, Diamonds, these are one of the best rares you can find in next to your city, because if you start using Relics at the beginning of Classical Age, you have this head start of 20 knowledge coming, while your opponent might not even have built a library.
Yeah, actually, you almost you know, can ignore science, not knowledge, if you have that relics. You will get to H3. You know, for sure. Of course, afterwards, that's question. But H3 is within your reach. It's kind of sad that he doesn't know about sugar yet, and sugar being so powerful in the beginning stages as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after a while, I feel like
Oh yeah,
that
he
boost
got
that
sugar
sugar
as well.
gives, yeah, in the beginning actually is important as well. So he's missing out on that.
Oh yeah, and I just read Mouse's message. He said they may rush you or me, and that's a good call. Mouse knows that even after their first victory, Mouse is not getting overconfident. He realizes that they could still lose, so he has asked TNT to keep a check, scout them, so they can find out what's their plan.
Yeah.
Nice call. That's a nice call.
Also, you know, Mash kind of hurt us, I feel like, because he got his eco up, but you know, he still hasn't made his barracks, so in the end his research was a bit useless.
Yeah,
that military
his research could have waited if he had to. Yeah, it wasn't the best time to get that research done. Anyway, Mouse did find out about Bison. I'm glad, because Bison with China is amazing. I just feel that instant merchant. I like that instant merchant and instant
Yeah.
villagers. Those are funny. If you can use them, if you don't get horribly raided initially, then you can make some good use of China.
Yeah, I like China for that as well. And also, you know, sometimes you feel like when you're China in age 1 and you have to choose which rares you're gonna use, you feel like, you know what? Let me go for this one. And oh, I like that one as well. And you just spam merchants.
Oh yeah.
It's really chill.
Oh yeah, with China, you want to take everything. You gotta
Yeah, you're
catch
like, you
them
know
all.
what? Yeah, let me get that one as well. No problem.
Oh, look at that. I think Young One might have given away some important detail, or do you think he could have? Because I just see his militia there raiding Silk. While I don't mind, while I really like the idea of militia, he might be giving out an idea that he's going for a militia rush.
Yeah, so for Mouse, I think this is definitely a bell. Like, okay, there is no reason for him to go militia except to, you know, defend raids. But usually you never go militia like that early. This is very early.
Oh, so
for
these
militia,
raids,
so...
I'm liking these raids because without even a unit, without even sending an expensive unit, by just sending those cheaper Turk villagers, you are getting your job done. So this is great.
Yeah.
And I actually, even with Koreans, I love using militia to raid because they don't cost.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to make any stable barracks for that, and they're ready.
Yeah. And as well for Koreans, you don't give anything away because you know you have militia by default. But all in all, we can agree that it still was a nice move by Young One. But there still is that point that maybe he gave away a bit of his plans.
Oh,
yeah,
but I mean, he's rated Silk so far. Now he's going for Amber behind TNT, and I'm hoping he'll be successful. So, if your militia can do all these damage, this is completely worth going for it. And and look at that, he's even going for a light horse. He's using this light horse to guard these militia in case there is an archer chasing them. I love this plan.
I really like it, and if you look at, you know, the grand picture, he actually has 1, 2, 3, 5 militia in total, you know, running around on the map somewhere.
Oh,
so he's
yeah.
actually really utilizing him. This is no random coincidence. This is a tactic of his, and I like it.
It's a pretty good plan. In fact,
I never seen that. I'm gonna use that, I think. I mean, potentially.
Yeah, and he's ambushing right now. He could potentially take out those archers. No, he's not gonna do that. I think he's just going for the woodcutter camp, which is good. Oh, and Mouse has something of his own. Mouse just researched attrition. That means perfect counter for a militia rush. I'm not sure if that's what. Oh no, I think that's what Young One was going to do, because Young One is getting a siege factory right now, so it's definitely going to be a quick attack. He's not planning to. Give too much time to Mouse. But anyway, he still has. He still could make army. He's got a barracks. He's got a nice start. I would have loved Young One to take out these archers initially, because if these archers were taken out, then he would get plunder and suddenly no archers for Mouse, of course.
One thing I feel like he's doing, right now he's diverting attention with his raid, and meanwhile, you know, I think he wants to go for Guiyang, but the problem is there's a lot of distance between them. That's a bit sad, so I don't know if he can. It's gonna be hard to pull off, man.
Yeah, what would be interesting is either go for Jamshedpur here, which is TNT's third city, or Mouse's third city, which is going to come up soon. That will be funny. If Mash and Young One can do a coordinated attack, I feel they're against just the perfect opponents who are vulnerable to raids.
And also, given the playstyle that TNT is taking on, I would have loved if Young One would have just built a siege in Mash's territory. And, you know, Mash, being Iroquois, you can go so aggressive that, you know, I'm sure he would have gotten that Jamshedpur city there by TNT, because he doesn't have an army at all, dude. He has nothing. Talking about TNT, he's going for a boom again.
TNT just getting a barracks. Before that, he only had a stable.
Yeah.
And Mash aged to medieval. Again, I would love So this is
Let
how
me.
I do it usually before medieval. I try to get my eco up to 150. But any case, I feel I feel is slightly out of place. Young one is slightly out of place. I don't and it was clear that Mouse has archers. I don't understand why I mean why Young one got these heavy infantry. It would have been better to get archers and cavalries.
Yeah, at least
Oh,
even light cavalry would have been
yeah, and
at least useful.
that would have been a perfect attack because that was sudden. Mouse is just aging. Mouse could have. I mean, Mouse just aged. He would not have enough time to research. But now, because he has to retreat, he just gave that time he needed. But the Mouse needed.
And we can say that AZ, they listen to you. They are going kind of aggressive. At least Young One is. Mash could have been raiding with all that, with all those heavy cavalry,
Oh
and
yeah.
later just pull them back for the primary attack. So Mash is doing worse on that, in that term. But I feel like AZ or Young One, he is still too slow to really make it work because Mouse's economy is getting away from him, and if a couple more minutes, I feel like, and Young One is gonna have a very tough time beating
Yep, you're right.
Mouse, because
That
Mouse
was.
will have enough economy to just build an army quickly, and defend.
Yeah, that was a perfect time to kill that third city. I really feel bad for him because Mouse still doesn't have the army. And even then he did not have the army. Only if a Young One's despot was in position and he had some cavalry, that would be funny. I'm being honest. Mash actually has enough army to do real damage. If that, so imagine Mash sending this army of upgraded heavy cavalries to this to Mouse's third city. That would be disastrous. I don't think anybody's expecting these many heavy cavalries. That would be funny, man. And these guys can, with that kind of cavalry,
Oof.
and this siege from Turks, they can take any city right now.
You're right, man. This cavalry would have just destroyed Mouse's archers in like a matter of seconds.
Oh yeah.
So yes.
So there is a potential for a great team play, but I'm not sure if we're gonna see that.
I actually feel like this game, it looks a lot like a last game, for Mash and TNT anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mash is doing slightly better than last game because he isn't getting raided so hard, but TNT is still playing his game. He's executing what he likes to do, and that is,
Yes, and
so
he's
far,
doing
it seems to be booming.
he's doing exactly the same thing last time.
Mm-hmm.
I see Young One has waited for too long.
Yeah.
But he's got a nice army.
He has, but at this point his army is relatively speaking not that valuable anymore, because Mouse, with his economy, he can create an equivalent army for in a pretty short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Young One's army actually depreciates with time. Well, Mouse doesn't have that problem when he has the better eco. He just has to
Oh yeah.
try to defend himself, and that's all he needs to do, and he's gonna win the game.
Well, I feel Young One could have a great exchange here if he managed to take the city, which I think he can. Looking at the numbers, obviously Mouse has got a weaker army than Young One. Even though Young One is stuck at that 100 eco, I do not support that. I think he could have managed to get a much bigger, better eco by now, with Commerce too. But anyway, even with that 100 eco, I feel he can do some real damage as long.
I think I think Mouse is making a small mistake. Actually, no, he has so many archers and the senator. He should have been just shooting down any unit he can for Young One. And Young One, he doesn't have archers of his own, only that cavalry. But while that cavalry is running to chase down the archers, Mouse has enough time to fall back. I think you could have killed at least a couple, 2-3 units before Young One would be even able to
see. Yep, I see.
attack.
I see what you're saying. Do you see what's happening here? This is a formidable army from Mash. Man, I feel so bad. Mash, what are you doing?
This is a big ass army, dude. This is a formidable army, Now he has that heavy He should go for Delhi or do something, dude. If he goes to if he would have been at Delhi right now, then
And do you know why
it would
Young
have.
One is? I mean, why Mash it cannot attack? Because he made a very poor choice. This brings me back to my government videos. If you are planning for a heavy attack, do not go for Senator, man. He's just being held back because there is attrition and this army is going to waste. I feel so bad right now.
Yeah, but wait, dude, my heart is getting broken right now looking at
Yeah.
Young One. Well, actually, somehow it seems like he's gonna hold it.
He
It
is
was
gonna
getting
hold it,
close, but
man.
yeah,
And imagine Mash coming here at this exact time. This would be the perfect team play. Oh
oof,
man.
man, yeah, Young One lost all his militia as well.
And I understand that actually getting militia over such a long distance in attrition land is never a good idea.
Yeah, I think they're like 65% HP when they get there, or even
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not sure, but yeah, they lose a lot before they even get to fight.
So wait, did PLA just break the record that was set by Lats yesterday?
Yo, I think by like 10 seconds maybe. I remember it was 14 something
It was, I
yesterday.
think it was for around 14:45 or 14:40. Well, just because we'll give them both of them the benefit of doubt, since we don't remember, we'll give both of them the fastest kill.
Interesting. Are we on mute?
Oh yeah, guys. So we are finished with this cast. Looks like PLA one is going straight into the Super 16. AZ on the other side will have another chance since they've only lost one game. They'll be playing the winner of Ind versus AZ2, and the winner of that game will go to the Super 16. So this group is about we are about to be done with Group 4.
Oh yeah, it's close to the end there, and yeah, we already have our first qualified team for the Super 16. Congratulations to PLA. We didn't uh, we were expecting that somewhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that the system works. The best teams get ahead. Also, I read here in the chat, Serge was saying it's actually interesting to talk about. He says, I think nomaders do better in standard than standard players do in nomad. So yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's more the otherwise, and it's because of the game speed that I feel. Of course, both the games have their different play styles because of the research costs, and the research order is completely different. But standard games are faster, and you are more likely to perform better in nomad if you're a standard player and you know the research orders. But that's
You know
my
what?
opinion, because I know more players who are better in I know standard players who are great in nomad players, but there are very few nomaders who started as nomaders and then became great in standard.
Well, I feel like I hope to get there, because I am like really a nomad player, and standard I never played it really.
But I think
But
I
I
think you are
kind
an
of fell in
exception.
love with
You
it.
are an exception. You are pretty good at standard. If I'm playing against you, I'm not going to boom, or I'm not going to boom
That's
blindly.
nice to hear, dude. But yeah, you are you still beat my ass a lot of times. But let's talk about, you know, we can agree that both modes have their own skill sets. You know, they have their own things that are important. For example, standard, I feel like is much faster. So you have to like prioritize, learn to prioritize the important things, like either raiding or booming. While in Nomad, it's so slow. You actually have enough time to do almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So in Nomad, I don't know, man. Help me out here.
In Nomad, also the games are long. You have time to think, as you said. Um, it's that I also feel though that Nomad is more welcoming for new players because they don't get killed early in the game, while Standard is harsh. It's more for the veterans of the game who can survive for long enough and give a hard time to the opponent.
Well, yeah, that's only because the standard players are still active. Only the very best standard players are still playing standard.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, we do see a change in that. But overall, yeah.
All right, so oh wait, I just realized we never updated the PLA scorecard. Anyway, guys, so we will be back with another game in about 15 minutes. You okay with 15 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, next we are going to cast Group 1 AS versus PLA4. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you guys. And yeah, Dave is trolling Dreadlock. Dreadlock David Case is dangerous, Dave. He just he's just sitting there.
Kron is joining in on the banter.
Oh, hey Tron. Yeah, never heard of Dangerous Dave. Who's that noob?
Who is he, man? New player?
Alright guys, just be with us. I will be ending this stream because these are two different groups. I don't want to put them in the same stream. So we'll be back 20 minutes on a different stream. Watch out for the notification. We'll be here. See you.
Yep.